Soup.
Welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Beau Oliver, joined here today with Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey and Teddy, and we are back to review Season 3 of The Boys, Episode 6, Herogasm. Had to bring out the costumes for this one.
An interesting choice with the Homelander costume there, Ted. I didn't know you like to root for mass murderers.
I just think we both have a lot in common. You know, we're both misunderstood.
Well, that's something we're going to have to unpack in a totally separate video. But The Boys, Season 3, Episode 6, it's been long anticipated by the internet. They've been promoting this all week, promoting it all year, basically, once we learned that they were going to adapt the Herogasm storyline to live action. And I think readers of the comic books will say it's smaller than the Herogasm in the comics, but size doesn't matter, or so I've been told.
Now it makes sense why all the hype about this episode, because I had no idea what this episode was going to be about, but now it makes sense. Now everyone knows about it.
So you came into this, you were
dry.
A virgin.
Yeah.
Dry. So what did you think? I'll get your opinion, Ted, since we haven't had you on any of the reviews for The Boys this year yet.
Or anything.
Well, first, I know it's been a while.
Yeah, welcome back.
I had a kid, you know.
Okay.
I'm a dad.
Cool.
First off, kudos to The Boys for 6 bangers.
You threw him off the roof yet?
Oh.
Like, come on, kid, you can fly, right?
Yeah, you want to dress up like him. Don't talk about it, be about it.
This episode was hilarious. It was funny, entertaining, emotional. It had everything you want to see. And
yeah, even the cold openings this season have been so funny, dude. And the shit that they've been parroting, they did the Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial, obviously. And they've done a few other things as well, like the release the Snyder Cut with the Dawn of the Seven. And now we see all these celebrities singing Imagine about the terrorist attacks that they're trying to pretend aren't actually happening. So we're getting some commentary there on the pandemic, fake news, trying to control the narratives. And I wonder if it's just Seth Rogen being a producer. He just calls up a few of his buddies and says, hey, Patton Oswalt, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, you guys live together, right? Not Patton Oswalt, but... So I thought that was a funny opening.
What's Patton Oswalt living with Mila Kunis? Ashton Kutcher.
That's a sitcom that Netflix is developing.
Honestly, that would not be shocked.
And they've greenlit it for 7 seasons. But I agree totally with you. I think this was the best episode of the season so far. It's becoming one of those shows where every episode gets better than the last one, but this was definitely the climax. Not of the season. We've still got 2 more to go. That's the fair. Afterglow.
That's right. Good.
Smoke a cigarette there. But this was hilarious. I mean, Herogasm, I think, did live up to the hype, but there was also some other great moments in this episode, like what Frenchie and Kimiko went through. Talk about juxtaposition. Characters having the time of their lives, and that was dark. That was almost hard to watch. And then getting into some more of MM and Starlight's friendship, which I think is one of the best relationships on the show. I think those 2 actors really have great chemistry.
It's a very deep episode, this one. They got a lot. There was a lot of character development in this episode.
Yeah, and I think some of the best character development came from Soldier Boy, who is quickly becoming my favorite character of this season. And that was a brilliant casting by Jensen Ackles. I think the guy's got a movie star face, but it's his delivery, the voice. Obviously, he's done some animated work with Batman.
I know you guys haven't seen Supernatural, but he's verbatim his character in Supernatural.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, you were mentioning that they even did a reference based on that first scene, right, of them in the hotel room?
Yeah, in the hotel room, him and his brother, so Supernatural, they hunt ghouls and monsters, and every time they go to a city, they post up in a motel room. The interaction with Huey, Butcher, and Jessen, Huey, Butcher, and Soldier Boy is exactly how it would happen with Robert Singer and his brother.
I've always knew your Supernatural references would come in handy one day.
Finally.
Time for you to shine and time for Jensen Ackles to shine.
Off.
It sucks that Soldier Boy is presented as a bad guy from the past, and when we seen him in that flashback, and obviously all the shit that he did to MM's family and the trauma it caused him, because having this kind of like fish out of order character thrust into this situation, and I think like just the character itself and the way he plays this character is kind of likable in a way, but then it's like, well, he's a bad guy. So I don't know if like that's like a criticism.
I think he's just a soup, you know. He's got that
I'm
soup
putting a
arrogance to
conundrum,
him.
man. I want to root for this guy real
but
bad.
like he's like done bad things in the past, and you know some of his belief systems are obviously not aligned with today's standards and shit like that. But when he's
also a ticking time bomb, and he has no remorse about who he kills.
Exactly, and he does shit like that, and it's just like, oh, but he's like kind of cool.
But believe it or not,
especially when he walks out at the end, like skipping ahead a little. And I think this is easily the best last episode of the season.
When the house was down, right? When he walked out from the house, yeah.
And maybe we'll get some more development with that character. Maybe, especially with MM, maybe there was something there that kind of got lost in all that fold. But yeah, he's just an interesting character. And just as a character, I've really enjoyed his presence so far this season. He's not like outlandishly funny in the way some of the other characters are, but just him in this situation and his observations have been pretty, especially in this episode, have been pretty funny.
Bro, that Bill Cosby reference was...
He said Bill Cosby would never be caught in that pussy gear.
And then he's like, Bill Cosby made a stiff drink.
Yeah, he gives him a looks like, oh, so you knew.
Yeah, right. Which doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Wait. Even when he's watching one of his old movies where he's in Afghanistan fighting with the Afghanis against Russia, and he's confused as to why America... It's like, we were 10-1, man. So all those references have been really funny. It's just these observations of a 1980s superhero. It's exactly how Homelander would act in that time. And he's got all these ideas about what makes a man and masculinity, but you could see that there's so much insecurity there, and it goes back to the PTSD he is experiencing from the experiments in Russia, but also what his team did to him, what he considered to be his family. But we could just see it with the way everybody...
It's literally the 7 right now.
Yeah,
actually.
No, they were just the original 7, and you see how the 7 right now hate Homelander, so you can imagine why these people hated Soldier Boy. And he even talks about wanting kids and wanting a family. I mean, some of it's his fault, but he does have nothing. So even though he has that superhero arrogance, he's got his ego, he's so defeated. So I definitely think that makes him sympathetic. It's definitely easier to empathize with Soldier Boy than a Homelander, because Homelander's still on top. This guy just, even though, he's crushing up the bennies, right?
Yeah,
he's a fucking mess.
We also had 3 seasons with Homelander too. I bet you if we get 3
seasons
with Soldier Boy, it'll be just as bad.
Being like just a shitty, arrogant person and being a complete psychopath, which Homelander is.
Can you compare Soldier Boy though? Like you brought up earlier how like you want to like him. You can kind of compare Soldier Boy this episode to Butcher, because Butcher's being that ruthless and psychotic right now.
It's not that like. I was just thinking in the perspective
we love Butcher.
Of like if we got Soldier Boy and he was like actually good.
Yeah.
Like he was like the saving grace. But I guess like with all the soups and what they're trying to go for is this kind of complexity, but at the end of the day most of them have this arrogance, narcissistic and just lack of care for everything else, but that doesn't have to do with them. But obviously at times, skipping to the end a little bit, it's like you're rooting for him, obviously, because I think Homelander is just definitively the most despicable person on this show, but is also one of the best characters and
he
just
really
insanely entertaining.
Yeah, that scene in the mirror he's amazing.
I watch Anthony Starr, and I think this guy's one of the best actors I've ever seen. He is so good, because you watch him in the mirror, and that's 2 separate people. And it's telling us everything we already kind of know about the character, but the way he delivers on it, the cocky Homelander with that voice, or Yahtzee, and then the Homelander who is still human, who does want people to love him, and he's obviously going through a very difficult time now because this relic from the past has shown up, and it's made him even more insecure. Maybe I can't stop him. Maybe I am not the best #1 hero here. So he continues to be a mess. Both of these characters are just completely fucked in the head. So when they do meet at the end, it's like they are staring at a mirror. His acting throughout these 3 seasons has been just incredible, but that scene, it was maybe his best yet.
But before we get into obviously the big fight at the end, which that was one of... I watched that fight and then got to Jon Snow, and it was hell of a night for me. But Herogasm itself definitely was it was interesting.
It's fucking hilarious.
I don't know why, but the bit of Huey getting naked every time he uses his powers will always make me laugh. It's so funny. And his little quips this season have been great. When when the guy whispers to him, he's like, oh no, like my butt's still a little sore. It's like, how that is, right? I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, to see Love Sausage again and just MM in that situation and him playing off of the absurdity of what was going on was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, MM got hit with the super nut.
Oh shit! Lick it up, you yummy brown bear.
Dude.
And before that, I got slimed by termite.
He's like, what is this? This is my favorite jacket.
MM and Butcher both saying how much Frenchie would have loved this was fucking great.
I even loved the Deep's reaction to being invited in. This is Herogasm.
The Deep
Zoom in on his eye.
The Deep is hilarious. this season.
The Deep has become one of the funniest characters on the show because he's just such a knucklehead. He's so clueless. When he runs out at the end, it's such a high schooler when the cops show up to the party.
Grab his beer, leave. He grabs the octopus, bro. I'm like, yo, when Starlight fucking called him, I was crying.
Well, even in the beginning when he's trying to show Homelander the security footage, and at first he shows him the video, the Imagine video. He's like, what the fuck are you showing me here, bro? Herogasm seems to be like a international, all the A-listers go in the comics, but here, I think it fits the show. It's not a rundown house, but it's this random crib in the middle of Vermont. You got these C-listers and sex workers. I know it smells crazy in there. It just feels dirty. And
he looked dirty. Are you kidding?
One of the best parts of Soulja Boy's character is all the things he takes credit for. Like when he's like, oh, I founded Herogasm back in 1952 with my girlfriend Liberty.
Yeah, that was a funny, that was a reference. When he said he used to date Liberty.
No, but I think in terms of the rating of the episode, that didn't disappoint. This was an orgy. You know, you're seeing some stuff, and they got freaky with it.
Well, that's what I love about The Boys right now is 3 seasons in, and they're still raunchy, they're still gory. They're not censoring anything, and I love it. You would think after a couple seasons, you get more eyes on it, that you would maybe tone down a little bit, and they're going more than ever probably.
And it's so easy to use extreme violence and gratuity for shock value to make up for maybe your writing's not so great. But I think they've always done it in such a smart way, where even if the quips are, like I said, X-rated, it's funny. Like when Soulja Boy sees the asshole on the TV, he says, looks like the Lincoln Tunnel. He's got a great voice, by the way. I can see why he has had success voicing Batman and Jason Todd, but he's just got the look, the voice, the stance of a superhero.
It sucks seeing this because now I'm going to binge Supernatural. Well, I'm screwed.
Right. When Huey first gets in there and he's like, "Oh, give me some time. I'll find the twins. Come back out." And Huey gets distracted. But when Soulja Boy walks in, you're just like, "Oh fuck!" It's similar to Homelander. You know, when he walks into a room, you're just afraid for everybody else in that room. And this is obviously a party, so there were many people here to become collateral damage. And I think it's interesting how they've kind of positioned Starlight as the moral center of this show. Because with Butcher and Huey, superhero collateral damage doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter that these people are innocents. They just see them as soups, and they'll do anything, no matter who gets in their way, to kill Homelander. But it's Starlight who is the one trying to get people out, trying to warn Blue Hawk that Soulja Boy is real. And of course, Blue Hawk dismisses her, says that's the lamestream media. But I think that she's really kind of thrived in that role. And obviously, you know, she's having some issues with Huey, where Huey is going in the opposite direction.
I wish she was about it, and they had her on the team. I don't like that I get why you have to have her do this, but I wish she was like more involved with Huey and
Well, based on
Butcher.
what Soulja Boy did in this episode, you don't think that she had a point?
She did. No, I get why. I just wish that she was...
You just wish she was more morally compromised.
Yeah. Yes.
I got it.
But
okay.
But then you look at it, Butcher and Huey's side, I don't know, is Blue Hawk worth saving? Termite, is he worth saving?
Yeah.
And it seems like...
Love sausage?
Yes.
No, he's too... no.
He's not annoying anybody.
Why?
You can't have that walking around.
He's doing his thing, man. You kidding? You see him right now with it burned.
So...
You see what Blue Hawk's doing?
Yeah. From their perspective, when they look at it, it's like... When you see the people like Blue Hawk, like Termite, the Wonder Twins, I forget what they're called, but like TNT, like all of them have pretty much done some shitty shit in the past, so they don't view them as worth saving at all. Whereas Starlight, sees the good in people, almost like not more forgiving, but it's also not a death sentence too. If she can save somebody, she'll still do it. So
I guess she's also not compromised either. Huey and Butcher are high on the compound V.
Well, I don't think you can ever claim for them to be good guys. I think if you look at the whole cast and the characters we know, I think the most purely good character is Starlight to this point.
This isn't about the story, but I just love the way they shoot Butcher and Huey shooting up the compound V. Mm-hmm. Their reactions, Butcher blinking his heat vision, trying to get it under control.
I wish Huey had something.
Oh, like some
cool
sort
thing,
of
yeah.
Well, it's perfect for Huey because he's always embarrassing
he can't
himself.
Show it off.
Right, so he's like a walking embarrassment, and now every time he uses his powers, his dick comes out.
I gotta say, it was
for
nice.
Herogasm.
It was nice seeing him punch A-Train. He's been dying to do that. and he can finally get his lick on him.
It was such a weird, like, obviously he deserved it for what he did to Huey, but in that moment, like, usually when you ask someone to apologize, you get this bullshit, like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. Like, I think that was very sincere from A-Train, especially all the lead up from what happened prior and what happened to his brother.
Oh, Huey wanted a fuck you, I'm not apologizing.
Yes. And when he didn't get it, he's like, fuck, well, I'm still going to punch you, but, like, it's not as satisfying.
Is A-Train turning a leaf?
Every week, me and Aaron are like, this is going to be the moment A-Train turns a leaf, and he just...
You want him to turn a leaf?
I don't know why we keep wanting to see the good in him.
It's not even about like, I feel like it's being blatantly set up.
Yeah, no, they're hinting at it.
Yeah.
But I think, it became personal for him after what Blue Hawk did to his brother, which has become such a controversial scene. I mean, the boys' subreddit has become a wasteland of horrible opinions and censorship. It's interesting. But he made it personal, Blue Hawk, so this is when he's going to take a stance, right? Because you've affected me, you've affected my family.
The celebrities, man. It's literally on point,
very
bro.
Typical.
It's so on point.
Yeah.
But he's also in a position where doing what he did to Blue Hawk could cost him his life.
Bro, he smoked Blue Hawk, dude.
No, that was talk about brutal deaths. I mean,
that's one of the worst I've ever seen on the show.
It's like, you know how bad, like, just a little knee scrape, how much that makes me, like, in my head just... Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's nasty,
that was that
bro.
times 1,000. And even before that, like, talking about, speaking of, like, A-Train, Colby Minifee, who plays Ashley, and we talk about her, like, every week, I feel like, about just being a excellent presence and being really good at playing this role, and I think she delivered again in that scene with A-Train. And every time she rips out her hair, man, that always gets me too.
She freaks me out,
It's
dude.
nasty. You could see, obviously, the pressures of the job, but no, she stole that scene, man. And you could see the confidence. Obviously, A-Train isn't... He's being very careful about using his powers, so she has that leg up on him. But she's trying to step into that Edgar Stillwell role while also being a Homelander loyalist. So it's a very hard balancing act that she has to perform, and you could see that it's weighing on her. But the performance just keeps getting more manic. Like even when she's yelling at the interviewer for asking Newman that question, you're never gonna ask. The next question you're gonna ask is gonna be up my asshole or something like that.
You can see her progression because she had the same thing with Starlight last week, right? Or episode 5 when Starlight came in to ask where Maeve was, and she was getting ready to back down, and then she stood up.
I think it's tough, man, because we've seen it with the Deep, we've seen it with A-Train. It's who are you going to hitch your wagon to, Starlight or Homelander? Same thing with Succession, right? Everybody says Logan Roy's terrible, he's terrible, but at the end of the day, they end up siding with him because he's the most powerful and he's got the most cards to play. But yeah, she's definitely, well, I think all the characters in this show are good, but what they've done for her character, Mother's Milk, even Kimiko and Frenchie, A-Train, they've added a lot of depth to some of these supporting characters, where it's not only the main stars, but all the characters are good, and they have something interesting to say about them.
I can't wait for the team up. I hate seeing the boys like this. They're all doing their own things. They're all like hurt. Right? They're all hurting right now.
Well,
man.
Let's just skip to the fight, and then we can maybe touch on some things that we missed. What did you think about that confrontation?
The big fight?
Yeah, the big fight at the end. So Homelander ends up showing up after Soldier Boy takes out the twins and takes out a few other people. Homelander fucking.
I needed more, man. I needed a 20-minute fight.
Well, I thought it was a great tease.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. It was a little tease for. I'm assuming the last episode. I want it next week, though. I
know a lot of fans were waiting for this first scene between Homelander and Soldier Boy, because I think the reactions to Soldier Boy from Homelander have been so good.
The tension was tight.
Watching the footage.
Tight tension.
But you could see Soldier Boy's calm. Homelander's a bit unhinged, unbalanced. He's got the smile and the growl, and he's showing the teeth. And Soldier Boy goes, buddy, you're wearing a cape. You can't be considered the upgrade. Homelander pretty much works him there in the beginning.
Not in the beginning. It was pretty close in the beginning. I mean, Soldier Boy was getting his licks in, but then once he grabbed him by the neck, his reaction to Billy was surviving his... Even when he first walks in, when he's like, wow, William... No, like, that was great too, but when Homelander first walks in, I love how he calls him William Butcher, and just has that, like, just willingness to just kill him right then and there. He's like, all right, you didn't really hold up your end of the bargain. Yeah, but his reaction, he's like, what have you done? Like, he's even fucking shocked that Billy would go this far. And he's like, scorched earth.
Scorched earth.
Dude, it was one of my, like, favorite fight scenes in, like, any superhero media, because of just the context, and it was very contained, but just had all the great moments of, like, what you wanted to see in that kind of interaction.
He was like a wild animal, Homelander. The way that they were trying to hold him down and he was growling at them.
But it's like the things we've seen before, they just amplified it. I don't know if it's due to the characters or just the situation or the context, but when it was a 2-on-1, like kind of went Civil War vibes at the end. And we've definitely seen dual lasers hit each other before, but with Homelander rising up, Butcher staying on the ground, and just, I don't know, just all that lead up into this moment was fucking fantastic. That twisted, sick little smile he gives.
When he's got the blood in his teeth.
Yeah.
Even Soldier Boy dragging Homelander's cape down. So he mentioned the cape and then he used it against him. As they say in The Incredibles, no capes. When Huey showed up, I got so excited.
And I think it's just
He's naked.
It's the unknown. I think with a show like this, probably what makes the fight so much better than, let's say, a Civil War or, I don't know, Vision versus Vision. I don't know why that came to mind.
Damn, just taking shots at some good movie.
But it's like, or Superman versus Zod.
Okay, that's better.
We know what's going to happen. There's such an unpredictability with this show that I think at any moment anything could have happened. And then Huey comes in, and it's just fucking hilarious.
Ass naked holding Homelander down.
And it's fucked up because, like, if you said, like, Starlight was on their team, I think the four of them were able to take him out. They were missing that one extra.
Bro, it says a lot about Homelander, though. Soldier Boy can't hold him, and it takes three of them with powers to barely get him down and hold him.
But it's like we talked about it last week or the week before when Starlight's trying to put together the team. Like, how many, like, could they actually take him? If you get Maeve, A-Train, Starlight, a superpowered Billy, and this showed me, like,
seems like 4 or 5 people can maybe take him.
Yeah. I mean, 3 of them did. And one of them was Huey. I know he has superpowers now, but...
Yeah, I mean, and then Homelander does escape, so obviously it just kind of ends in a stalemate there.
Bullshit, Soldier Boy choked.
Well, the big wild card with Soldier Boy is that he can take away your powers. He can kill you, but he can also just take your powers away, like we saw with Kimiko.
Or is that we're just attaching that to Kimiko? Because they know Kimiko lost her powers, and they didn't really put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, I think they were just very much going for the kill. Mm-hmm. But I think it's if you're able to withstand it, maybe it has to do with that. Where if you get a clean shot on someone like a Homelander or like Kimiko who has the durability, it's not going to necessarily kill them, but it could destroy their powers.
And speaking to, like, the whatever it takes mentality of Billy, him just willing to stay there, and Huey was like, fuck it. This means, like, very much in danger if Soldier Boy got that blast off.
I mean, MM and Butcher are such similar characters. The two leaders, but MM has always been a bit more laid back, more in touch with his human side. Like Butcher says, he can hold the team together. But he's becoming more unhinged because it is so personal about him. And you wonder in the episodes ahead what's going to happen between Butcher and this sort of these factions that are developing where it's MM and Starlight are more on the same page. Because MM was ready to fucking kill not only Butcher, he was ready to kill Huey.
He squared up to Soldier Boy.
But in the beginning, when he's cocking the weapons and he's talking about Butcher's going to find the address and I'll be there waiting for him. And Starlight's like, bro, that's not what we need to be focusing on right now. So he's always been able to keep a cool head. But since it is so personal, once again for him, with Soldier Boy killing his family, he was ready to die. Like you said, he squares up with them. He was fully ready to
Put
die.
Up his dukes against his fucking supercharged.
Are you kidding, bro?
Soldier.
The second Soldier Boy came in the picture. There was no hesitation. He tossed a smoke grenade at him
on sight.
Yeah, and Soldier Boy is such a scumbag with that answer. Which one? Obviously, he's killed innocents before, so he can't even keep track of it.
Well, that's where, like, because it takes you out of wanting him to be good, because you get that scene when they're scoping out the joint, and he's like, all right, fine, I'll let you try and get everybody out before shit goes down. And then you're like, oh, so he's not a horrible guy. And then he goes in there, and it's like, which one? Which family did I kill? I'm like, oh, you dickhead.
Well, he's just doesn't have the stature anymore. So he fully realizes that Homelander has been his replacement. But I think if you put Homelander through a similar situation, he would come out the other end sort of like Soldier Boy, where he's still got the arrogance and the narcissism, but he's just a beaten dog. Yeah. It makes no sense for him to be cruel to people like Homelander sometimes is, because he truly does need them. Like when they're negotiating in the beginning, saying, you don't know shit about this world, you do need us. And we've got this temp V, so we could fuck you up if we wanted to.
Bro, can someone get that Russian music off? Why is that
people
music
always
playing?
Bumping Russian music? I
mean,
mean,
a break.
To be fair, there are a lot of Russians in New York City.
Yeah.
And Love Sausage is obviously Russian.
Okay, so it's there. All right.
Yeah, there's not a
I stand down.
This Winter Soldier needed like an intricate password. You can just play a bop, a Russian jam.
Right. La 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 la. What did you guys think about the Deep in this episode? Getting caught with his octopus buddy.
Oh, I fucking cried. It was hilarious. What the hell's up with him and octopuses?
He fucks fish.
Man, those suction cups, man. There's something about it.
I need to see the Deep fight.
I should give her a call.
I really need to see him fight.
Kind of did last season.
They drove into a whale.
Bro, him standing on that whale was the funniest shit ever, bro. He was so proud of himself.
Bro, that whale scene, I gotta watch it.
He was doing
again,
the superhero pose. But he's just such a dope. When he fucking pushes...
He's such a simp, man. It's so funny how much he simps over Homelander.
When he's talking to Starlight and she's taking the pictures and, you know, he tells her Homelander's coming, but before he does that, he moves the tentacle out of his face like it's a straight piece of hair.
Oh, I haven't been on the reviews. That scene when he ate Timothy was one of the hardest scenes I ever had to watch in my life. I've never been more uncomfortable.
That's the genius of the show, right?
Yeah.
A character eating a squid.
But you feel for the squid.
You feel that
you kidding?
he had a family.
I know.
He's praying. Chase Crawford's delivery as this character has been so great, man.
And then the ink. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's fucking so nasty. He is one nasty motherfucker.
He's grown each season, though, too, with 1, 2, and 3.
The Deep?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, his trajectory. Like,
right?
He's obviously a scumbag, but then they have, like, this, which I didn't like at all.
When he went away?
When he went away and they were kind of trying to, you know, redeem his character, it felt like. But then it kind of just played out to the sense like, oh, no, he's just a fucking idiot. Still a scumbag idiot, but he does shit like has sex with octopuses, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think he's only in the picture because of Stan Edgar making Starlight co-captain, so it was just something for Homelander to do, to fuck with Starlight, you know. And it's a loyalist play as well, obviously, because he's, like you said, he's such a simp for Homelander. He's going to do whatever he says, and he fired all the crime guys.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about Black Noir yet. Cutting out his chip.
No, yeah. Well, the interactions
doing?
between Homelander and Black Noir continue to be some of the funniest bits of the show because they just communicate so well. He's like, is there anything you can tell me?
Word.
Homelander's, damn it. And then, yeah, he fucking
that
dips out of there. So you can only imagine what he knows about what happened. Obviously, he was on that team. And the power of Soldier Boy, you know, to put the fear in Black Noir like that, who's been such a sturdy character.
That's what tripped out Homelander, man. When he saw Black Noir dip, you know, he's like, oh, shit.
I was so confused by what he was doing.
So was I. I didn't know what that was. He just handed it to her.
I was like, is this man feeling all right?
I wonder if there's not something more to that.
What?
If it's not just him bailing, it's just him, fuck, I know shit's about to go down. Let me
get set
try
up.
to do it myself. And obviously that character has changed in the comics, but yeah, Homelander's reaction to him leaving is just, I find it so fucking funny that Black Noir is the only one, like his only friend. And someone he really cares about.
Right, yeah. He truly respects him. He trusts him. And him having the history with Payback, he would be on Soldier Boy's list. Has Soldier Boy mentioned Noir?
Yeah.
Has he? Okay.
Because the TNT twins said that it was Noir's idea. And Soldier Boy was
right. And
Black
he said
Noir
that
wouldn't take a shit without Vought telling him to do so.
Yeah, so you have to, maybe Soldier Boy also goes after Edgar, because Edgar is still around. Stillwell's obviously not. I don't even know if she was in the picture. That's probably too early for her. But Edgar's still around. You imagine that's somebody Soldier Boy would want to have words with as well, because he's been the mastermind for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he didn't take out the Legend, because the Legend was definitely working at Vought at that time.
Everyone seems to like him, though.
I know.
Yeah, he is very likable.
It's like the asset. Like, you don't kill. He has too much info.
I read that the writer of the comics, he's supposed to be based on Stan Lee. But Black Noir continues to be just such a mystery. So every time he does something, everybody's like, where is this going to lead? What's going to be the moment where we go, oh, okay, this is why Black Noir's in this show, or this is the big change that they've made.
I kind of like him just being just this
How much has he changed from the comics?
That jumps in every now and then. And obviously the implications... at the end, so it feels like shit's about to actually, like, there's no order anymore with Starlight revealed to the world.
Right, and it's Newman who extends her the olive branch, saying, why don't we work together? You lend me your influence and I'll keep you from dying, I guess, because I have these head popping abilities. That scene was great between those two. It was a lot of tension. Of course, you're wondering who's actually going to come out on top there. I think it would be Newman.
Well, yeah, she
just
flexed
letting
on her. Are you
all
kidding?
out in the open, right? Cut the bullshit. Let's talk some shop here.
That was kind of badass though when she leaves and just gave Starlight just a little nosebleed, just to let you
She
know.
likes doing that.
Yeah.
It's an
It's
icky
such a
move.
power move.
Hey, we saw a little bit of Starlight's power. She tossed Huey.
She tossed Huey, but, more so about where she stands. She's done with all the bullshit. She's not going to be kissing anybody's ass because she believed in Edgar, and then Edgar got himself fucking fired. So she's going to team up with Newman, and like she says, it's just going to be you on top with all the bodies that you've left under you. So she obviously comes out at the end on Instagram Live. I don't think this is going to be the thing that brings down Vought, but it's definitely, it's huge.
Open the floodgates.
And it puts her in a compromising position because for so long her leverage has been her popularity. That's the one thing that Homelander, not only keeping her alive, but her family, Huey. So she dropped a bomb on this world, on this narrative at the end there.
Yeah,
Homelander's going to explode. He's already heated from this fight. And then now this is going to... Because he's stressing right now about the technical shit with Vought, too.
Bro, him trying to run Vought has been so fucking funny. And like I said,
Grown-ups got to worry about the share price.
we got to worry about the share prices and the margins. Even going back to the mirror scene when he's talking about all that shit. Maybe Edgar was right. Maybe I.
He's only
bit off
talking like
more
that
than I
from that
can
lady
chew.
too. It's so funny. He's talking like that because of what that lady said to him in the board meeting. So now he wants to use those words that he learned.
That's exactly what I would do.
So
if I was
funny.
thrown into the CEO of a major company right now, I would just say a bunch of buzzwords and hopefully they made sense.
I also wanted to make a quick point about the two mirror scenes. The earlier one, it's Homelander telling himself, you need to cut out the part of you that's human. Become perfect like marble. And then the mirror scene at the end, there's no conversation. It's just Homelander looking at himself, looking at his injuries, realizing no matter what I do, I can never rip out that part of me that's human. 'Cause, he was humbled by Soldier Boy. He was injured. He was hurt like a human being is. He's not immortal. So I thought that was an interesting way to show us, the audience, that Homelander does realize the humanity inside of me is something I just can't get rid of that easily. That's why he's so funny, man. He really just wants to be liked and loved for reasons why other people are liked and loved, It just
Well, that's why
he
his
craves it.
side fucking shits on him for it.
Yeah, and that's why it's such a
He'll be pure.
It's a power move by Starlight because it hurts his image, and he's so obsessed with his image and what people perceive him to be. So not only does he have these terrorist attacks that he's trying to sweep under the rug, but now, like I said, the most popular superhero in the Seven has completely turned on you. So even go into the comment section, which I love when they put these comments in these videos. The public perception of Vought is going to take a hit, and they always take that into account in this story, the approval ratings and what the public actually believes and how to get the public back on your side.
Justice for Starlight.
So instead of maybe like superheroes fighting with their hands, they're going to be fighting in the media, which is so funny about this show, right? It's going to be who do you believe? Which hashtag do you support?
But she also dropped a bomb that similar to what Maeve wanted to drop, and Homelander told her not to do it because he would just become unhinged and destroy the world. What Starlight did is big enough to set him off, and
You think so?
I do.
I think it's more of because Homelander will still have his bootlickers, so to say, that will support him and believe him and be like, it's going to reflect they've done it time and time again, the real world reflections, where I feel like it's just going to cause a split where, like you said, either you're Team Homelander or Team Starlight. Yeah, I don't think it's like... It's hard to support Homelander if you saw a video of him killing an airplane, but if you buy into his bullshit and he's like, oh, Starlight doesn't know what she's talking about.
You can try and twist it, too.
Yeah, so I don't think it's it's definitely not good for the brand, but it's I don't think it's anything that he doesn't think he can come back from.
A quick note, A Train to Africa continues to be fucking hilarious, the promo videos.
He keeps trying, man. He's trying hard.
He's still rocking that suit. He's got the African suit in this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was just showing at Herogasm, too. He was just there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, he's just fucking there.
Yeah, because he says to Huey, he's like, he asks why he's there. And he's like, you're here too, man.
Yeah, he's
like,
just
whatever.
chilling.
And
Right,
he walked away.
I guess we should talk about
He
that.
was there to get Blue Hawk.
He was there to get Blue Hawk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Blue Hawk was there chilling.
Yeah, he wants you to think that.
Yeah, I'm here for Blue Hawk, definitely. I'm participating in this. It's disgusting. That scene, talking about disgusting, out of all the crazy fights Kimiko has been in, this may be the most gruesome because obviously she doesn't have the powers. So she had to kill him the old school way, just with weapons, with your environmentals.
Bro, you felt those punches she was taking in the kidneys.
Well, the way she recovers, I'm like, that you've got like 9 broken ribs. That's not a couple pats of alcohol on the forehead. You're all right, kid.
I thought she might have like regained her powers at one point.
So did I.
Because I'm like, how is she surviving this?
You think she kind of did? But she's not
healing,
right? I think
it's an anime thing. People fight in animes and they're stabbing each other and they're punching each other and they should have been dead 10 minutes ago,
yeah,
but
true.
It's a cartoon. And I think The Boys very much so is a cartoon at times. You know, even though she probably should have died, it's still believable because it fits the tone of the show.
Yeah.
And you still feel the physical pain of what she was going through. Yeah, you could twist it. But even, you know, little Nina has been such an asshole to Frenchie, and him being there naked, emasculating him, telling the stories of his scar. It was, it's embarrassing.
But you learn about Frenchie, man. He went through some shit. He's hardened.
Yeah, you see the parallels between what the superheroes have done and with the boys as well, where, yeah, they're complex characters. You know, they've gone through some shit. They've done some awful shit. They've had some awful shit done to them. You feel the desperation of Kimiko trying to escape, and Sherry as well. And that was hard to watch. When I went back for a rewatch, I had to skip it. I don't want to see her stabbing this man in the heart like that.
Slicing that guy's throat.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Obviously, she thought that losing her powers was a blessing, and now she was put in a position where if she did have those powers, she could have saved everyone much more easily. She probably wouldn't have even been caught lacking like she was in the hospital.
I wonder how you proceed with Frenchie and Kimiko without Kimiko having the powers, because their whole thing was them leaving and just getting away from Butcher. So I wonder if Frenchie and Kimiko just end up leaving and saying fuck this, and they're done with it.
Once he hears he missed Herogasm, he's not leaving their side ever again.
No.
So I can't afford it anymore.
Yeah, you can't miss something like that.
Imagine the FOMO. No, we talked about it, like, even when he said before, like, I hate seeing them split up because they work so well as a team and they feed off each other so well, and it's always a joy to watch. But just like they have, like, hinted at A-Train turning a new leaf for, like, the past, like, 2 seasons now, they've hinted at, like, Frenchie or Kimiko, one of them are dead. And
you would think.
Even that episode in Russia, when they had that conversation, it was a classic cliche of, like, you don't have a talk like that unless one of the characters dies soon. And Kimiko survived. So it just seems like they keep kind of teasing that and teasing that and teasing that. And, you know, this show...
It would be the boys to keep teasing that and no one die.
Yeah, because, like, sometimes they do the cliches, but in a very boyish way, where it's not an easy way out. It's more of a satirization of some of these cliches, or they'll do something where they'll tease a cliche and just go against type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the way that they bring these two characters together through these just traumatic events, it's a fucked up way to develop a bond. But I guess it does bring them closer because Kimiko now gets the information about Frenchie's past, and that's something that she had been inquiring about, his work with Little Nina, and his work even before that. So it's you wish that they could just go to a cafe, sit down, talk about the past, but it has to be his former boss kidnapping him and chaining him up.
Like a dog. Naked.
Yeah. But like we said, there's definitely going to be some more fights moving forward, so we'll get to see how all this plays out. It's going to be hard to top this episode because I think we can all agree it was the best episode of the season so far.
Well, if the trend keeps going, the next one's going to be better than this one. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited for that next episode. All right, guys, that does it for this review. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Leave your comments on the episode down below, and make sure you subscribe to the Nerd Soup OnlyFans so you can see the uncut version of this review. Soupgasm.
You sign off on this?
It was my idea. Damn, we were making some good points in that video. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey here. Before we end this video, I want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. What can I say about you guys that I haven't already said about myself? You are the most important part of the channel and the main reason we keep going strong. Like Beau says, you keep the lights on in the fridge so the fridge is full. Or something like that. So, from everyone here at Nerd Soup, I'd like to thank you guys for your continued support. If you're interested in joining the ranks of our patron supporters, head over to patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out the rewards we offer to our patrons. We recently dropped some new stickers for you guys to check out, or you could choose a tier that will allow you to select a movie, show, or video game for us to review. We've got a full slate of fan-suggested reviews coming your way, and we're really excited about the chance to review some of those movies and shows. We've also got t-shirts, mugs, behind-the-scenes videos showing how we bring our videos to life. And once again, thank you to all our Patreon pledgers who have been supporting us throughout the years. Without you, we wouldn't be able to convert all your pledges into cryptocurrency, so thank you from my future self for making us rich.